Hello, Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos, your host for Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on your local cable station. As part of this whole cable process, if you'd like to be involved, let me know. We have all the cameras. You don't have to own any equipment. Come on down. And we have the cameras, we have the computers, if you'd like to learn how to run either one of those. If you'd like to be interviewed, please let me know, because we'll have you on the show. And if you know someone else that you would like to see on, tell me that too, and I'll twist arms and we'll make sure we get him or her on for you. Now today we're going to be talking to Joe LeBlanc, and Joe designs and hand makes guitars. So this is something that is just very, very different and very specific. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, how long have you lived in Georgetown?
My wife and I have lived here for 9 years.
Oh, good.
9 years in November. It's going quickly.
You like obviously you like the town because you've stayed.
Yes, and they let us stay, which is really nice.
Oh, they let you stay.
Yeah.
That helps too. You build guitars. I have to assume you play.
Yes, I do.
And
yes.
We have a couple of different types here. What do you prefer? What type of guitar do you play?
I play a lot of acoustic guitar. I really enjoy a nice acoustic guitar. And I play electric guitar, but not as much as I would like. But I enjoy building them, both of them.
Okay, so now have you played for a long time?
Yes, I've played about 20 years. Oh. About 20 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I used to play when I was in high school and college, but those years are long gone.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of music is your favorite?
I like, it's a loaded question. I like, my favorite is music that I can play to the guitar. That's my favorite. So if I can strum along to it and if I can sing along to it, that's my favorite. But I like acoustic rock. I like anything from grunge to heavy rock, classical guitar. But
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Good
pretty
range. How did you get started building guitars? That's something that it's so unusual. You just don't hear people doing that. You think guitar factories or guitar places. Yeah. Not individuals.
Exactly. Well, when my wife and I were getting married, I tried my hand at woodworking, and I've always done some woodworking. But one of the big things we did is I built our bedroom set. And so I built 2 dressers and a bed frame, and I enjoyed the whole process, and it came out really nice. It was very simple, like a shaker design, which is very, just very simple in that. And then about 6 months later, I was playing guitar, and then I looked inside the hole of the guitar, and it was intriguing, and I said, that's all wood. And that and Google. I Googled and found a local luthier, which is somebody who builds guitars, who does like an apprenticeship and will walk you through the whole process from start to the end of the guitar.
Okay, so that's how you learned to build. You didn't have to take one apart.
Right,
to find out.
exactly. Exactly.
Now, was this a local person?
Yes, at the time he was in Concord, and actually I was outside of Boston at the time, so I used to commute by train. But he was the only one around, so it was like it worked out to be like a whole day affair, traveling out, taking the whole class, and then coming back. And yeah, so it had to pay your dues.
Now, how long ago was that?
Wow, that was 11 years ago.
So you've been doing this for 11 years?
Yes.
When did you start to teach?
When did I start to teach? I started teaching officially about 2 years ago. And that came about because I have a shop, and when you get into the process of building a guitar, there's a lot of stages to do, and it requires some special tooling. You either make it to make it easy to replicate the process, and I invested a lot of time and a lot of energy in making those, and then I realized with my nephew, I started walking him through the process, because we're going to build an acoustic guitar, and I was like, this is pretty easy, like. Well, he thought it was real easy, and I was like, because I made all the tools.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was, and then I said, oh, I could walk somebody through this.
Now, you said you have a shop.
Yes.
Here in Georgetown?
Yes, right in Georgetown. It's a very small, glorified shop. in the back of a house. It's we call it Man Town. This
Man Town?
Man.
This is where the guys go to do the guitars.
Exactly, and women.
Oh,
women,
and
yeah,
women.
and
Okay.
women. Yeah, it's a glorified. It's basically a walk-in toolbox. That's really what it is.
And you make the guitars
That's where
right
we
there.
make the guitars.
Okay. What types of guitars do you specialize in building?
Acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Really like the acoustic guitar. That's what I play a lot of, and it's a pretty intricate process. But the product that we end up coming out with is professional quality, and over the years I've learned a lot of things like how the guitar sounds, what predictable outcome you'll get when you build a certain guitar, yeah, that's a real enjoyable process. So.
Now, what are some of the steps in building a guitar?
The steps in building a guitar. With an acoustic guitar, it's pretty intense. We start usually from like all flat woods. So for the back and the sides of the guitar, we start with thin pieces of wood, and we go through the steaming and bending the sides.
And that's how you get it to have the shape.
Yeah, to introduce the curves to the side, and I tell people not that I do this, but it's like curling hair. You know, like it's moist, and you heat it up, you bend it over a certain shape, and then when you take it off and it cools, it stays in that shape. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we go through, and we use molds, which is an outside frame that we build the guitar in, and that holds all the pieces together while we're gluing and shaping and profiling. And it also helps us to get very predictable results when you assemble the whole guitar and the like. Between that, we build what we call the sound box first.
Okay.
And put everything together, which is about 75% of the guitar, between the volume, the tone, and different things you can expect to get out of it. Then the neck is joined on later. You know, we profile and make a neck, and do some fancy joinery so that everything goes together.
And this is all glued?
Yes, it's all glued. Yes, that's most everything is glued. The neck actually gets bolted on
okay.
to the body, but then the fingerboard actually gets glued down onto the surface of the guitar.
So there's lots and lots of steps. Now, and you're talking acoustic guitar, which is the type you play folk music on, or the one like what's right next to me here,
Yes.
as opposed to the electric guitar style.
Exactly.
So when you look inside the hole, you can see some of the back part of the guitar. And
yes, the bracing, the wood, and things like that.
why would people think about building their own guitar instead of just buying one? There are lots of great guitars out there.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of great guitars out there, and I think what it really appeals to is somebody looking for a high quality guitar, because there are a lot of overseas guitars that you can get and make pretty decent sound and look decent, and the craftsmanship is pretty good. But if you've ever played like a high-end guitar, they use all solid woods. Solid wood meaning it's cut just from the tree. It's not like a laminate plywood.
It's not a veneer or something.
Right. A lot of these guitars are veneer, and they look nice, but to get the resonant sounds and the tone and the professional sound, they usually need all solid wood.
Now, what kind of supplies do you need? Where do you find them? I mean, where do you find the wood and all the pieces?
Yeah.
It's not something you can go online and find.
Yeah, well, there are actually, there's a lot of guitar building sites, suppliers, luthier suppliers, who will provide the wood's dimension to the thicknesses that you need ready for guitar building. Some actually sell kits where a lot of the parts are pre-bent and ready to be assembled. But in my shop, I actually machine a lot of the woods. So we can go to like a hardwood lumberyard and actually hand-picked a lot of the woods and machine them up and choose and really go through the whole process with what I say like flat wood.
So it's like building, it's like cooking. You make a cake from scratch, or you buy the box
Exactly.
and just add water.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
So there's a big difference in both cases.
Yeah.
In the newspaper article that was done recently, it talked about an eye problem that you have. And how does this impact what you do?
Yeah, well, it is interesting. I have an eye disorder, and it's called RP, or retinitis pigmentosa. And some people are familiar with it. It's like a tunnel vision, so not a lot of peripheral vision, and it's a continual eye disorder where the vision kind of continually gets smaller and smaller. And over the years, it's not really impacted a lot of what I do, but now it's very central that I function well. I function well. If it lands in the circle, then I can see it, and so a lot of detail I'm still able to do on the guitar. Over a period of time, it's challenged some of my building and even some students that I've had in my class. But I know the process so well that I just really point out certain points, you know.
So because you've been doing it so long and you know the process,
Yeah.
it really makes up for the fact that you can't literally see exactly what they're doing.
Sometimes I can't see. But for example, like if you have to line up something to a pencil mark and it has to be dead on center, I'll say, "Can you see that mark?" They'll say yes. I say, "Good," because you're gonna need to see it.
So if someone calls and wants to take classes,
Yes.
what's the first step for them, other than making the phone call?
Yes, exactly. The first step, it usually is a phone call, and what I do is encourage people just to come to the shop and play some instruments and see what it's about. It's not for everyone. It takes a dedication and a commitment. We were talking earlier about why not just go out and buy a guitar. In many situations, probably a lot easier, a lot quicker. But if you come and you decide to build one, you end up with a high quality guitar, usually in the $2,200 range, which is the market for a decent guitar. You know, they go up incredibly more, $7,500. You know, for high end guitars. So that is the thing. You come and you play, and if you can appreciate that and the satisfaction that you get from building something from scratch. This is a true story. I had a grown man almost say, he said it was, this is probably sad, but he said it was almost as moving as his firstborn that he so it was,
Obviously, he really enjoyed it.
it was very emotional. No,
Yeah.
it was good. It was.
Yeah. How long does it take to build the guitar?
To build a guitar, the process probably takes about 160 hours. And that's knowing what you're doing and going from start to finish.
Plus drying time
Yeah.
for all of this.
Plus
So
drying.
that's 160 active hours of building and putting it together.
Yeah.
But then you need to space that out over days or weeks or months.
Yeah, a lot of it is pretty fluid because you're doing one thing, and when something else is drying, you're doing another thing, and you go back and forth. And the great thing is, for a lot of people, you come and you build, and then you go home, and then what you're not able to do in the shop or doesn't require special tooling, you can speed the process up. You know, so usually it takes beginning to end probably about 7 months for a student to get down toward the playing time.
So all the work is done in the shop, or can they take some of it home and do it at home?
Yeah,
Like homework.
Exactly, like homework. It goes a lot quicker if they're able to do work at home. But some people don't have shop environment at all, so it's hard to be able to do that. But I've had some students where you come and you show them what to do, and they're like great students. They come with the homework done, and that makes the whole process really enjoyable. So.
And I assume most of the students also play.
Believe it or not, I've had a couple of students who don't play at all. Just start the process and then really like it, and then they're looking to start playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have to get a instructor, a guitar instructor to work with you so that you can do both.
I offer one free lesson at the end of the guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, how much does it cost to build?
To build a
Or how much does it cost if people come to you for the classes?
right. If you come for the class, it's per student basis, and for an acoustic guitar, you can look at spending about $1,500 for class time materials to get to the end product, and an electric guitar, the same thing. It would probably be closer to like 800, 900 for the guitar. And the thing is, you end up with a high quality instrument, you know. So it's the experience that you get while you're doing it, and also you end up with a nice product at the end.
So you could be saving hundreds of dollars and learning how to do it yourself.
Exactly.
So that's part of the joy of it.
Exactly.
How can people reach you? Do you have a site or?
Yeah, I have a website that you could go, and it will give you more information about classes and show some more instrument pictures, and that's at timberwood.net, TIMBRE,
Timber, okay.
WOOD.net.
Okay.
Timbre meaning like tone or quality of a voice. It's kind of a play on words.
Knowing the eye condition, do you think you're going to be able to continue building guitars and teaching?
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
Yes, I'm hoping so. I've actually, because of the prognosis for my vision is that it will deteriorate, and no usable sight usually is what happens, and I'm kind of heading toward that, but familiar with that. But in the future, I won't be doing it in the same capacity I'm doing it right now, where I just finished this acoustic guitar off to the side here, and I've seen that whole process through, all on my own without needing visual help, and but down the road it'll be having students, or people to help the process that I.
Now, is this both eyes or is it one?
It's both eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually an inherited eye disease.
What do you like most about building the guitars?
What do I like most about building guitars? I love what I love the most about it is that you end up with a product that it's very tangible, you can play and enjoy it. Where I started out building some furniture, which is nice, but like you put your clothes away and you're done with it, like your bureau.
Yeah, you look and say, isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you really, the guitar just, you can play songs, and it's what I call eye candy. As much as you can see it,
Okay.
looks very nice.
What do you enjoy most about the teaching part of it?
The teaching, I found actually a lot of joy in. I get fueled by other people's passion, and that's how I was introduced to it. Very passionate about, I could actually build one from scratch, and I connect with that when somebody walks in. I see it usually when they walk in the door, and to be able to help that person get to the end result and keep them from failing or keep them from having a lot of the frustrations I've had in the process, that's usually the greatest joy in teaching.
Yeah, people that really enjoy teaching are natural teachers too. It's something that you didn't have to work really hard to be able to show someone the process.
Yeah. People have been very nice and have complimented me in being very patient, and it's one of the things I always say is people start getting frustrated, or they'll think that they damaged something, and I've been through it so many times, and I say, don't worry, there's more wood where that came from.
Yeah, there's always more wood.
There's always more wood, unless it's Brazilian rosewood, then I cry with them.
Okay. Assumedly that would be an expensive project.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's actually what this guitar here is. Brazilian rosewood for the back and the sides of the guitar, with an Adirondack spruce top, which makes for a really nice guitar. Yeah.
Do you build other instruments?
Yeah, so over the years, I started with guitar, and I had gone on to like some smaller instruments, a little triangle stringed instruments called the psaltery.
Okay.
Actually, I had built one for a local guy here, and he was playing it recently, and that's how my name got in the paper. It was because he was playing one of my instruments, and they were like, "Oh, where did it come from?" But
Now this is something that you're actually turning into a full-time business for yourself.
yes,
Hopefully.
yeah. It's something that we're exploring and seeing how the process goes, and we've proved that it can walk people through it, and now just make it more efficient and more timely, and see what comes of it. One of the things I'm actually really interested in is, especially where my eyesight is kind of an issue, is coming along somebody else, or teaming up with some people who may be interested in. So I'm trying to network in that area, to find out people who are passionate about playing music and building, and see if that has a place for more students and more building.
So something that you've always enjoyed just has turned into not only something that's fun for you, but it's also turned into your business.
Yes. It's stored by passion, and yeah, and as you continue, we look for good things. So.
Now, do you ever play the guitar out other places, or
Yes,
with groups, or?
Yeah, I lead music at my church, so that helps lead a small, well.
Which church?
It's in Lynn, East Baptist Church in Lynn, and it's one of those things that's trying to grow as well. So it's usually it can be just me up there playing guitar, or we'll have like a small band at different points, and but I love it. It's a beautiful time, and yeah, that's the other part of the passion is playing music. So
You've kind of tied it all together. Have we tied it all together? Is there anything that we've missed?
No, I think that was a.
They are beautiful guitars. They really are.
Thank you.
They are. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
So if you have a love for guitars, whether you play or not, let Joe know. Give him a call. See about building a guitar yourself. Don't forget, you can find us on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is Spotlight Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos. Thanks for joining us, and bye for now.